competition and cookbook event. And I'm thrilled to have with us today Miss Pennsylvania, Megan Sinisi. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It is such an honor to be here and be a part of Taste for Pace 2022, especially since I have such a heart for those with autism. So tonight's event is a family affair, and everyone at home will be hearing all the different family stories that really speak to the value of Pace School's mission, which is providing educational and therapeutic services that enable any child to thrive.
Oh, definitely. This event allows PACE to supplement and enhance so many of the services that are needed for our kids. And at this time, I'd like to say a special thank you to all our sponsors who have been so loyal over the years, and especially our sponsors this year. And a special shout out to our gourmet sponsor, which is a MARTINI Construction, who have been with us through the years, and we can't thank them and the rest of our sponsors enough. They're just terrific people.
Right, Deb, and how incredible it is to have community support, especially from a premier sponsor like a MARTINI. The support from our community really helps services be more available to the students here, students with autism and emotional and behavioral challenges, which really makes an impact for different families. I even got to take a tour of the building today for the first time.
I know, isn't it fantastic?
Absolutely amazing.
Really, it's such a great place.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, the students that are served here are just as amazing as the community that supports them. So tonight, the viewers at home will get a chance to hear about the impact from our families and the way that PACE has really truly impacted the students that are served here.
Oh yeah, we're going to hear some amazing stories from amazing families. It's just going to be terrific. And at this time, I'd like to introduce the CEO of PACE School, Karen Shepard, and our parent representative, Shannon Coach. Hi, ladies.
For introducing such a fun night. We're really looking forward to this evening. 2022, Taste for Pace, a family affair. We're going to be hearing from some of our families. And we actually have someone here to join me as the co-host. I'd like to introduce Shannon Coach. She is our parent representative to the board, and I'm thrilled to have her here with me tonight.
Thank you so much for having me be part of this tonight. I know just hearing from Deb and Megan talk about the different community support and different supports that are needed whenever you have a child that has different needs. Having a place like PACE it's just wonderful. We've been a PACE family for 10 years and it's just absolutely wonderful. So
Well,
part of this tonight.
we're pleased that you're with us. We're pleased that your daughter's with us, and we're going to have a fun evening tonight. So as we go throughout the evening, we're going to be intermixing between our cooking competition, cookbook and cooking competition, and the stories from PACE. We have 3 families that are going to share their stories with us, and we're going to be switching back and forth. We have some folks here helping us with the tech. Hopefully we don't have any tech issues, but if we do, please bear with us. Speaking of tech, I'd like to let you know that if you are interested in closed captioning, that should be available for you at the bottom of your screen. You should be able to access that. So with that, do you want to explain the competition itself?
Sure, absolutely. So we have 4 categories tonight that we're going to be announcing winners. They were selected by sending in their recipes, and then our development committee actually picked a winner for each category. And then something I think is just so cool, we actually had a student panel taste test each recipe, and they determined who the grand prize winner is. And each winner will get some kind of a prize, but we have an amazing grand prize winner, and you can see that big basket right there in the middle. I don't know who that's going to go to. Everything sounds so good.
I don't know either. So I have to admit that Shannon and I do know who the 4 category winners are, because we had to be able to pull them in to talk to us this evening, but we're not quite sure who the grand prize winner is. So we're kind of excited about that as well. So why don't we go ahead and get started with the first entree prize, the first category prize.
So the first category we have is the appetizers, and that winner is Barb Kala, and she sent in a recipe for the Korean style barbecue meatballs. Sound so delicious, and just I cannot wait to hear more about how that recipe came about, why it's her favorite. Hey Barb.
Hi Barb.
Hi Shannon. Hi Karen. How's everybody?
Hey, how are you?
Good to see both of you.
You too.
Congratulations on your award
Yeah,
winning appetizer.
thank you.
Do you have a story about that?
I have a small story. Back during COVID, and Dave and I were, stuck in the house, and our son Josh was, worried, we should not go to the store so often, it's not safe. And so Josh came up with this idea, and he bought for Becky also. So it's the New York Times cooking app. And actually, it's an app that you purchase through New York Times, and there are all kinds of recipes. So it gives you a daily recipe that if you want to save it, you can do that, and gives you a recipe box. So I like the app so much. So you can literally search for something that you want to make. And our daughter Becky came up, she found these meatballs, and I like simple recipes. So I looked, and Dave and I like meatballs, and I went ahead and made the meatballs. So they're very tasty. So it was a Hanukkah gift from Josh. So a nice story. But one thing I like about this app is that at the top, it lists notes. So you click on that, and then it gives people's opinions. So I added like a sauce to it. I don't know. Kate, I don't know if Kate, because I know I don't know if she did that. But so I'm not much of a cook, but
Well, congratulations, because the development committee thought that they were the award-winning appetizer entree. So congratulations. And hopefully you can stay with us, because you might be the grand prize winner. We have to wait and see who the students selected. So
I'm going to stay with you. No worries.
Great. Thanks for joining us.
Great to see you both. Great to see you.
All right. Okay. So do we want to move to the first story?
Yes,
the first piece story.
Yep.
Yeah. So just like the appetizer is often the entree into a meal, there is an entree into PACE schools. Students don't typically start their school career at PACE. They start in their public school, and then the parents and the school districts determine that the need may be present to look for some other kind of placements and resources. And so our first family, Stephanie Pulowski and her daughter Evelyn, are going to be sharing their story. They just joined PACE this year. Evelyn started at PACE this year, and they're going to talk just a little bit about what that experience is like for a family when they've made the decision with their school district to go ahead and look for an outside placement. So please welcome the Pulowskis.
I'm Stephanie Pulowski. This is my daughter, Evelyn, and this is her service dog, Gibbs. We've been at PACE. This is our first year. We just started in the end of August, and right from the beginning, PACE was such a change from previous schools that Evelyn's been at. Just a few days in, Evelyn came home and said that there are other people that are like her at the school. And she was so happy. She said she wasn't alone anymore, that she made friends right away. And she comes home all the time and says that PACE teaches her a way that she understands, and PACE helps her learn things the way she likes to learn things, right? Previous to PACE, Evelyn has never participated really in gym or music. And since she came here, those are two of her favorite subjects. Evelyn's favorite programs at PACE that she talks about the most are Fun Fridays. And this Friday, they're doing Slime Friday, which she's been excited about all week. You can tell she's excited now about it. And News to You, which is a program where every week they focus on a different news topic, right? What are some things that you've talked about in the past? Do you remember?
The 2022 Olympics, the Super Bowl, Operation Santa Claus, the New York City Marathon, and more.
And more. What else do you really like about PACE?
I like that I fit in.
You like that you fit in? Mm-hmm. And have you made friends at PACE?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She never would participate in specials. She emotionally, it was an instant change. She wasn't upset. She didn't talk about how other kids were treating her negatively. It was all positive. She was making friends and felt comfortable and was happy. And just as a family, that took so much pressure off to see her happy. The previous school was calling me up to about 10 times a day. And that's really stressful as a parent to get constant phone calls when you don't know how to help because you're not there. And to have her at a school where they can manage her behavior is good or bad. And I know that she's safe, and I know that they're doing everything they can to work with her where she is coming from and where she is just means the world to all of us.
It's such an important thing. I know that we take it really seriously here. We want families and students to feel safe. And so thank you very much for sharing that experience. And it also just always touches my heart when I hear the students say they have a friend,
I know.
or they have been able to find a place where they fit in. It just always just touches my heart. So thank you very much for sharing that story. And Evelyn, we're glad you're with us at Pace, and we hope that you're with us for a little bit anyway, and then we'll continue to move forward. Moving forward, and I'm sorry that we're going to be kind of jumping back and forth here, but we do want to move forward now with the second category for the cooking contest. And the second category is the main dish. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the main dish winner. It's a little bit of a mouthful, so I'm going to go ahead and state it. It is the vegetarian butternut squash chipotle chili, and the entry was made by Valerie Kerrigan. So I'm really excited about this. Who doesn't like a good chili, right?
Sounds
And for a
good.
vegetarian chili, that especially one that utilizes butternut squash, we're always trying to figure out a way to introduce. I was introduced to butternut squash with a cooking challenge here at Pace. And since then, we've been trying to figure out how can we incorporate butternut squash in our
Was
own
it the
family.
macaroni and cheese?
It was
with
the
butternut
macaroni and
squash?
cheese
That
with the
was
butternut squash,
yes.
yeah.
From the
Yeah,
farm
so
to table cooking
Right.
challenge, the Project Lunch Tray.
Project
that they
Lunch
did
Tray,
a few
that's
years
exactly
ago.
what
That
it
was
was.
awesome.
A
Yeah.
few years ago. So Valerie, I don't know if you have your camera on. If there you are. Hi, Valerie. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Thanks for being a friend of Pace and entering your recipe. But congratulations. Do you have a story about your squash recipe, your chili?
Kind of. I mean, it's just a similar thing to what you were saying about introducing butternut squash in a certain way. So I kind of wanted a healthier option, I guess. I don't really eat too much meat, so I wanted a chili that didn't have
Yeah.
meat essentially. So that was kind of hard because most of the recipes that I was finding did, and I also really like spicy things. So I wanted something that kind of had a bite to it also. And the butternut squash worked really nice. I mean, I like it.
Yeah, it looks really good. So it has a little bit of a bite to it. It has a little bit of a spice in it.
Yeah, so they have you can put, it calls for chili peppers, but you don't really have to make it like as spicy. Like the first time we made it, my mom and I didn't really make it too spicy. It was kind of medium level, but you could put like a bunch of
You could heat
3
it up if
chili
you really
peppers in
wanted
there.
to.
Yeah.
Probably tone it down if you need
Yeah, or
to.
tone it down if you needed to, right? Well, congratulations again. I think it's great to have a vegetarian option.
Mhm.
A lot of our students do have dietary restrictions or dietary preferences.
Mhm.
And so the idea of having a vegetarian main course win that category, it's really kind of exciting. So
Yeah,
congratulations,
good.
Valerie, and stay
Thanks.
tuned because you may be the grand prize winner. We'll have to wait and see. So
Thanks.
thank you. Okay, so I'm sorry, I am checking out my notes here. So I'm trying to relate this all to a meal. It's a little bit challenging at times, but when I think about a student being at Pace School, I do kind of think about the entree being the appetizer. And then after they're here a little while, it's kind of the main course, right? So the next family that we're going to hear from is Makita Cole and her son Luther. And Luther has been at Pace School for a little bit longer than Evelyn has been here. And so you'll be able to hear from Makita's perspective and Luther's perspective, how things maybe have changed for them since their enrollment at Pace and some of the hopes and dreams that they have for the future. So please welcome Makita Cole and her son Luther.
Cole. This is my son Luther Trow. He's been attending Pace School since kindergarten, which is about 6 years now. And so far, so good. I love the school. I love his friends, his teachers, and I love everything that the school has offered to my son since he started in kindergarten. And I don't think I ever want him to leave the school. So Luther, starting at Pace, he did struggle a lot with just a lot of redirection, and he needed a lot of more one-on-one focus. He was not getting that extra support that he needed. So we decided to send him here, and he has grown very maturely since kindergarten. He has learned how to use his words and learned how to be a little bit more vocal. Before we knew about a Pace, Luther was struggling very bad, to the point where as a parent, as being mom, we always feel that we know what's best for our child, and we always think that how can we help our child? So I kind of got stuck and I didn't know how to help him. His biggest issue was trust. So he didn't know how to open up and to feel that he's being accepted for who he is. So we needed that wall to come down, and he wasn't getting that before. So when he came to PACE, I have seen Luther develop tremendously in a positive way. I just want him to have the support, and he has had the support since day one. PACE never turned their backs on him. They never said we cannot handle your child. They never said that our school isn't for your child or we're not trained enough to handle your child's needs. They were able to tackle every single thing that my child was dealing with, physically, emotionally, mentally. They were there. And if he needed a minute, he needed a minute. And they knew how to redirect him to change that negativity into a positive way. So I'm very thankful that my son is here.
I like to do my work, and I like to have fun and play with my friends, play football, play cards and board games and stuff when we get free time. I like playing with the guitars and music. And
What's your favorite subject that you always tell me?
math.
Yep. So sometimes he amazed me by so much he has learned from being here at PACE. He's came a long way in the last 6 years, and I'm very proud of him. I really am.
We're very proud of Luther too, and we're proud of all of our students. You know, they work really hard to learn and to learn how to control their social emotional behavior, their learning. They work really, really hard, and we're really proud of them. All the time we're proud of them. So it's nice to hear a mom also share that pride.
Yeah, I mean, it's once we got into PACE and everything, the school helped bring out who I knew was in there and helped her learn how to just really grow into the person that she is today that I knew was going to be in there. So it's wonderful to hear even the different backgrounds are all having the similar results. And it is such an individualized process. And every kid needs an individualized process, but especially these kiddos,
Right.
You know, they have such unique challenges of their own, and just the care and comfort that PACE gives. And it's not just to the kids. As a parent, you know, we feel supported by the school too.
Oh,
So
that's great to hear. That's great
it
to hear.
deserves.
Yeah, I think the other thing that was common between Evelyn and Luther was they liking specials.
Yeah.
So Luther mentioned music and playing guitars and music, and Evelyn mentioned being able to go to gym and having fun in gym and having friends at PACE. So
Yes.
it's nice to think that we're looking at the whole child, not just, you know, academics, but we're not losing academics. Luther's a whiz in math. So
And the exposure that they get to things that they wouldn't in other school settings is just beyond anything that they would get in another school setting.
Yeah.
You know, that we mentioned earlier, that project lunch tray, it was
Right.
something that the students had been a part of years ago.
Mhm.
And I often tell the story that when my daughter started at PACE, we were literally locking away the butter knives in the kitchen cabinet, you know, under lock and key. And when she was part of the the project lunch tray,
Right.
she was bruleeing.
With a
And I'm
torch.
like, with a torch.
With a
She
torch.
came home and she's like, we learned how to brulee, but she was mispronouncing it somehow.
Right, right.
And so I said, well, how did you do it? And she walked me through the
Right.
process. And she's like, and then we took a torch.
Now we took a torch.
And I'm like,
So-
if you had told me in 2012 that she was going to be bruleeing things, and now she makes the best quesadilla. She actually should have entered that recipe.
Oh, she should have. Oh, see, we're gonna get there.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
But-
but I think it is time for us to move on to
Yep.
the next category,
Yep. And so that is the side dishes.
right? Salads and sides.
Yep. And the winner for that is Cheryl Popatak with a Hungarian mushroom soup.
Oh,
That sounds
interesting.
very
I
interesting.
know.
There has to be a good.
Hungarian mushroom soup. There's gotta be a good story
Yeah.
here. I can't wait for Cheryl to join us because there has to be a great
And
story.
I want to see how the kids taste test it.
I know, because you think mushroom soup. I don't
They're
know.
not-
How's
yeah.
that gonna go? It's gonna be interesting to see. Cheryl, do you have your camera on? I see. Oh, here we go. Hi,
we go.
Cheryl.
There we go.
Hey,
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hungarian Mushroom soup. Do you have a story?
I have a little story, yes. I I am Ukrainian, so as we grew up, we had a lot of traditional foods, especially at Easter and Christmas time. And one of the, well, a lot of the Ukrainian foods are different. And as a kid, I didn't like most of them. And on Christmas Eve, it's a meatless holiday. So growing up, I didn't like pierogies. I didn't like sauerkraut. I didn't like all the other stuff. But the one thing I did like was the mushroom soup. So we had that. And not that it was very filling, but you can make, I'll just as an aside, you can make this a little bit more filling if you put it over top of mashed potatoes, then it's filling. But anyhow, this is a little bit of a variation on my grandmother's recipe, but it brings back a lot of memories whenever I eat it, because like I said, that was probably one of the only foods that I ate at my grandmother's. We went there on New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve, and they were pretty staunch, like you're not eating meat type thing. You know, we had stuffed cabbage, but they weren't stuffed with meat. They were stuffed with buckwheat, groats, and barley. So that was gross then.
Kids love
But-
that. What are you looking at?
I know. Well, and so as an adult, I grew to like it a little bit more. Still, I really, like meat stuffed cabbage. But this particular recipe has gone over well with people that I've served it to. And it's fairly easy to make. Like Barb said before, I like easy, quick things. And this is, you follow the recipe and it turns out pretty good.
Well, there you go. And with how the families are today, with how busy families are today, it's nice to have some quick recipes that you can.
Right.
That you
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I am curious to watch the kids taste it when we do the taste test.
Yeah, me too.
I wasn't quite sure when I heard, but it definitely intrigued the development committee. So you are the you are the prize winner for the
All right.
sides and
Thank you.
salads. Sides and salads. So congratulations, and stick around because we'll pull the grand prize winner in a minute. So,
Okay, thanks.
okay, thank you, Cheryl. Okay, so like I said before, we're going to be bouncing back and forth a little bit. We do have one more parent and child interview. And as we're moving through our meal, our theoretical meal tonight, students at PACE also move through the program. So they enter PACE at all different kinds of ages. So some students might start at kindergarten, some may even start as late as 9th or 10th grade, but they move through the program. And then unfortunately, so there's the time to leave. There's either students age out, which is an opportunity to move into adulthood, or they'll transition back to their public school, or those kinds of things. So tonight we have we're ending our parent interviews with a family, the Hess family, who has a child who is aging out. So Alec has been with us for a while, and I think you have a similar kind of story with your family.
Yep.
Yep. So we are going to listen to the Hess family talk about the process of being at PACE for a while and then transitioning out. So please welcome the Hess family.
Hi, we're the Hess family. We've been here at PACE School for approximately 8 years. We moved here from a different state. We were looking for a lot of opportunities for Alec services. We started in the district, our home district, and when things were not suitable for Alec, educationally,
support and coordination wise.
Support and coordination.
He's come a long way. Things that he's achieved here that I really don't believe that he would have achieved anywhere else. Things that he could be involved in here that, quite frankly, I don't think were offered anywhere else. You got to play football on the team, the school team.
Yes.
basketball, so many opportunities that actually aren't available for kids in a lot of their home districts. And that makes them feel like they're part of their community, part of a social network. They get to establish friendships, long-term friendships that they may not have been able to do in their regular districts. Who's your best friend, Alec?
Charles.
And how long have you known Charles?
A lot of years.
A lot of years. And and that's the greatest thing, that that he's been here for 8 years and he's known his best friend for that long. And that is a stability for Alec that he may not have ever had in the district because the schools change, the grades change, and this is his last year, and it's going to be sad for us to when he
depart
graduates.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you looking forward to graduating?
Yes.
Yes. The difference in our lives before and after PACE was we needed a lot of direction. We behaviorally, we were struggling at home and in the district.
In the school, yeah.
And we needed a lot of support.
Behavioral support, different means of education in the way that he was actually being taught, I think needed to be approached differently as well.
Okay.
Okay. Our biggest goal is to make sure that he was stable wherever he was in his environment, whether it was at home, in the community, at school, and that was through a lot of the different programs that PACE had over, like the mindfulness programs that helped Alec learn coping skills, group activities to help socialize him with other students and other staff, to put that into his life skills. They just make everybody feel wonderful. They're just an amazing school. Alec's future is so much brighter because of PACE. Because of all the tools that he was able to learn while he was here is just something he'll always carry with him. And it's something that I was able to learn that I can help him in his future to continue striving to make sure that he has a better future always.
Okay, so you can relate to this story a little bit because your daughter's aging. Thank you so much. Alec has been with us for a very long time. We're very proud of Alec. We're proud of all of our students, but I think that's an example of thriving, right?
Yeah,
providing
absolutely.
educational services. I know that I don't think they'll mind me sharing that Alec has a part-time job and he's working and really moving into adulthood, and it just touches my heart. And I know, I know we're going to get a little tearful because this is just it's a meaningful time for you and your family as well.
And I mean, my daughter's in transition right now, and just hearing that he has a part-time job and just the pride that comes from actually having a job, I think really gets taken for granted, and it's something that we're able to be. It puts it in perspective whenever our kids are able to do that. And PACE does such a good job. I remember when she came home, when she was in elementary school and they had the World of Work program, and she's like, I'm applying for a job. And I said, you're what? And I mean, they really focus on more than just math, reading. I mean, we hear that some of the kids love math, but I mean, they teach life skills to the kids. And, they have, it's just so well-rounded. And honestly, I really think that most education should be, in my opinion, I think that it should be in a model like this to teach kids. It's more than just the academics, it really is just being able to, learn those life skills. And I'm so happy for Alec and his family that absolutely he's able to feel confident, and that the family's able to feel confident, and
that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
That can be a scary transition.
Yeah. And we know that we have the ability to reach out to the school and, our communication and everything with the teachers, and you guys make sure that we're set up with the right resources and everything to help us get out into the real world and do whatever it is that our kids are going to do with their lives.
Right. Well, we were just talking. So the program that Alec is in is called the Life Education for Adult Futures Program. And the acronym is LEAF. We love acronyms at PACE School. So it's the LEAF program. And it really is designed for that. It's designed to help students really spend the last couple of years of PACE focusing on life skills, life functioning skills, becoming a young adult, moving from high school into adulthood. But the other thing it does is it allows us to help families transition from kind of in-house mental health supports to external mental health supports. We have a partial hospitalization program that some of our students are eligible for and participate in. It's a high level of mental health services, and we do have to transition into more community-based services. So often that will happen at this age as well.
Yeah.
You know, that will transition out of more intensive services to community-based services. So thank you again, the Hess family, for sharing your story, and we will see you at graduation, Alex. So you know that's coming up pretty soon. June 2nd.
Can't wait.
June 2nd is graduation, so we're looking forward to that. But I do think we probably have to move on.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
So I guess it's a bittersweet end.
It is.
But we have to talk about
But
the sweet stuff.
it might be a sweet end.
Yeah. The dessert winner is Carol Scheib, and she entered a recipe for a magic custard pie.
Magic custard
Magic.
pie. So
It's magic.
Carol, we cannot wait for you to come on and tell us what is magic about your magic custard pie. We had a chance to see it when the
Yeah.
kids were tasting it, and it looks pretty delicious, but I'm very curious to hear what the magic component of it, and maybe it's just that it just comes out looking so
Baked
wonderful.
with love.
That's baked
You know.
with love, and that's what makes it magic. Carol, I see your name. Is your camera on? So I see that you're trying to come in. Okay, well, we're going to talk a little bit about this magic pie. So
Sure.
I happened to see the recipe, and I think there might be a gluten-free element to it that might make it magic.
Oh, that's
I'm
awesome. Okay.
not exactly sure. There's Carol.
Oh,
Hi,
there we are.
Carol.
Hi.
Hi, welcome. So we are really anxious to hear about the magic of your pie. We had, like I said, we had a chance to see it, but
Well,
your story.
I could hardly hear you. My phone, this is an Android phone and it's really wacky, but I wanted to mention the magic part is that this recipe is very little flour, and you could use a good spelt flour, or even coconut flour. You could use a coconut milk also, and the vanilla. But the magic part is you blend it all in one bowl and pour it in a pie pan, and it makes its own crust, but the crust is very minimal. So it's a great high protein dish. It's made with eggs, and
Sounds delicious. What is
I
it? A
add
family
cinnamon,
favorite?
I add vanilla.
Okay, is it a family favorite? Is it
I
a
could see the
family favorite?
transcript, and I really apologize. I can't hear
That's
at
okay.
all.
Oh, all right. I was asking if it was a family favorite, if you can see the closed caption. Can't see it? No. Okay, well, congratulations, Carol. We'll see if you are the grand prize winner. We're going to be wrapping up here in a minute. We're going to move actually into the tasting.
Yes.
Right? We're going to move to the tasting. And before we get there, the first part of this video is actually a video where 4 of our high school students receive honorable mention because they entered recipes into the contest. Unfortunately, they weren't selected as the category winners, but they did take some time, worked with their teacher, and entered recipes. And then they also are part of the judging. Miss Pennsylvania of 2021 assisted with the judging. So we're going to move on to that part of the show, and then we'll come back with the grand prize winner.
For Stephen Richardson for a delicious recipe entry. We also have for Christian Trin, I believe is how you say it. Oh, okay, so that's why you go by CT. Now I see. So Christian for submitting, and then this is for you, Stephen. Thank you. You're welcome. And then for Alexis Malter, is that how you say your last name? Malter? Thank you so much. You're very welcome. And for Patrick, incredible time that you submitted. Thank you so much for participating in today's Taste for Pace.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, and now we have reached the most exciting part of the event, right, students? We are ready to taste the food. So let's get a little gentle drum roll, get ready to taste the food, and we are going to start with our first appetizer, the Korean barbecue style meatball. So go ahead and try that appetizer and then rate it on your sheets to get started and see what wins tonight. Everything looks delicious. I could dig right in there. We're starting with that Korean barbecue style meatball. And all of these recipes have been submitted to Taste for Pace, so we are excited to hear who our winners will be from the event. Okay, I see some bites. Go ahead and rate that on your score sheets once you have an idea. And we're judging on presentation, taste, and whether or not you would eat this again. I don't know about all you, but I'm a big foodie, so I feel like I could eat all this stuff all day long.
I would say the presentation's rather good.
Okay.
Whoever made this recipe did a good job on it.
All right.
I'm not a big spicy fan, but I say this is good.
Okay, so far we have a consensus that it's pretty good. We are going to move on to our main dish, which is the vegetarian butternut squash chipotle chili. So you'll see it on your table here with the tortilla strips on the top. Vegetarian butternut squash chipotle chili. So we got some feedback about spice. I wonder if this might be spicy or not. We're judging on the presentation, the taste, and whether you would eat this again or not. And I've got to say, it looks pretty good. So you could probably write some of those pieces of feedback down on your score sheet too. Give some feedback to those that submitted these awesome recipes, and I'm just curious who's gonna win.
Love it.
All right, so now I think we are just about ready to move on to our next dish. So make sure that you are circling those different scores on your score sheet for the main course, which was a vegetarian butternut squash chipotle chili. Okay, so now we are ready to move on to our side dish. We have a Hungarian mushroom soup. Hungarian mushroom soup. You can hear the concentration in the room as they take their tastes of these awesome recipes.
It's good.
I'm excited to debrief at the end of all this and hear all their thoughts. Okay, so we just tried the side dish. Go ahead and give it a score. We joked earlier saying that I was the food police here today, the security guard of the table, making sure that everyone gets all their bites in and their scores. So it's looking pretty good so far. We are down through 3 of the recipes, and we have just one more to wrap it up for our Taste for Pace cooking event. Okay, what do we think? Are we ready for the last course?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we have arrived to my personal favorite, the dessert portion of this event. It is a magic custard pie. Magic custard pie. So go ahead and take a bite of that. How does it taste? How is it presented? And would you eat this again? I know when I sat down and looked at this, my eyes went straight to the pie. I have a sweet tooth, so looking at the pie instantly, I am ready for dessert. I'm also so interested to see if we agree, whether we agree on most of these. Okay. Has everyone tasted their custard pie?
Yes.
All right, pencils down. Overall, we'd say that this was a pretty good 4-course meal.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing. I'm just so jealous that I didn't get a chance to try it all. So, I don't know about you, but this was an incredible Taste for Pace. What do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to try new stuff.
Yeah, and that's what's exciting. You get to try new things, try new recipes, and everyone watching at home, you can even purchase the cookbook for yourself and have some of these recipes for your own. So maybe you'll be making these at home for some of your family and some of your favorites and seeing what they think. You can pull out the old score sheets and see how they compare. How about it? So now that we have finished up our taste testing and had an awesome time trying each of these recipes and gave some honorable mentions for some recipes that were submitted by our students, I'm going to toss it back over to Karen and Shannon, who are going to have the final tallies from today's Taste for Pace and find out who our grand prize winner will be.
Well, Shannon, I think those students really took that very seriously.
I think
They
some of
were-
them watched the cooking show.
I think so too. They're very foodie, right? They were
Yep.
very, very serious about their tasting, and I think they all had pretty strong opinions.
Yep.
So what we did was we took those score sheets and we added them all up, And we have a grand prize winner in the envelope that we're going to go ahead and announce now. So I'll give you the honors.
So excited I get to announce them.
That's right.
All right.
Grand prize winner.
So according to the final tally of our student judges' votes, the grand prize winner is Barb Calla for her Korean barbecue style meatballs.
Yay,
Awesome.
Barb.
Congratulations, Barb.
Congratulations, Barb. I was thinking as we were watching the kids judge, I had a chance to see them a little live judge and then also the video in advance of the show.
Right.
And I just really thought maybe the meatballs, they seem to be really spending a lot of time, but what a critical eye, right? To talk
Right.
about the spiciness and
Right.
texture.
I loved I loved their comment, Patrick in particular.
Yeah, really fun. So
Well, thank you very much.
congratulations. I want to thank you again for being such a nice supporter and a good supporter of
Always.
PACE. Right behind us is your basket, your grand prize basket. And it's coincidental that in that basket are some hockey tickets and some Steeler tickets. So meatballs would be perfect as an appetizer for a
Thank you.
tailgate. So
Thank you very much. I'll be back in town on the 18th.
Oh,
So
perfect.
I'm
you'll be in the area.
still away, and how about if I give you a call when?
That's great. That's great.
Are visitors allowed? Can I come in, or are we still not?
We're controlling visitors a little bit. We're so quasi-COVID protected, right? So,
Right.
But if you call Jan Kerrigan, she'll give you the details. And that's true for all of the category winners as well. Jan will be reaching out and letting you know how to go about retrieving your prize basket. So congratulations again, Barb.
Thank you. And
Bye.
Shannon, please tell Trista I said hello.
Okay.
Well, she's actually watching right now.
Okay. Hi, Trista. Okay. Thanks very much.
All right.
Night all.
So that is the end of the competition, and that's the end of, we're closing up the Taste for Pace.
Yep. I guess I should say hi, Trista.
It's a family
And
affair.
Katie.
It is
Sorry.
a family affair, right?
Yep. So if you want to try all 4 of those recipes, plus the kids that entered their own recipes and many, many more, you can go on to tasteforpace.org, order your own cookbook, should be in about mid-May, just $10, right? So,
and you can do that on the website, and might be a good Mother's Day.
Might be a good Mother's Day present.
Right, right. So,
or you could get the cookbook and make mom something.
oh, there you go. Make mom something out of it. That's even better. I like that idea better. All right, so thank you. And we wouldn't be able to have this event without our sponsors. We want to thank our sponsors again for their generous support, and they support us throughout the school year, not just for this event. So we want to thank them. And there's a lot of thank yous. I want to start with you, Shannon, to thank you for joining me tonight to be the co-host.
This is fun. Thank you.
I would like to thank Kai and Jan, who you all can't see, but we are looking at. They are the behind the scenes tech people, and Jan has been the organizer of this whole event. So thank both of you for putting this, making this possible. I want to thank Kate Dolan. She's our daily living skills teacher, and she prepared all that food for the tasting and has done such a lovely job of decorating our set here, which is actually her kitchen, her daily living skills kitchen here at the school. So I want to thank her. Also want to thank Deb Cassini-Klein, who is the development chair for the board and also the entire development committee. They did the judging of the recipes and really helped make this event be what it was. Janine Michaels, who did the videography. It was very important that we have those nice clips of the students and of the families and their stories. So I want to thank Janine. And then last but not least, I certainly want to thank the students who did the tasting, as well as all of the families that shared their story and their children for being willing to share their story about the impact that PACE has had on them, as well as their families. And with that, I think we're ready to close the night.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for joining us this evening. Stay healthy, and thank you for being part of PACE's family.